Okay, I attended a debate about a year ago at the University of Florida. This debate was a morality debate called Lincoln Douglas. Now, in the debate realm, we call this LD, but in reality, it was created by Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas. And it's one of the oldest types of debate that is out there. It is a morality debate that focuses on what is the most moral thing to do. And the topic that I argued, or that I was arguing about when I went to UF, was whether the US should increase or decrease oil subsidies in foreign nations. And I saw a ton of arguments for either side, really, about this. And some of them were that when we're getting kidnapped in Alaska, all the way to that our reality is a simulation. And that's a big range of stuff, let me tell you, to argue against. But I saw one huge main factor within all of these arguments, or most of the arguments, and within the debate itself. It was utilitarianism. Now, utilitarianism is defined as a theory that basically you have to find a balance between pleasure over pain, or you have to have the greatest amount of happiness for the greatest amount of people. This is by Merriam-Webster. And utilitarianism at the root is a very big thing, because inherently, whatever choice you make, for yourself at least, should be what gives you the greatest amount of happiness for yourself. And this was created by Jeremy Bentham. That was the man's name, Jeremy Bentham. And he created this in about 1950, or coined the phrase utilitarianism. And while he coined the phrase in about 1950, utilitarianism was actually created by ancient Greeks, an ancient Greek philosopher, actually. And it originated in Greece, which means that we see, really, this in almost all of the stuff that we have today. And this was by philosophybasics.com. And utilitarianism affects a ton of stuff that we see today. Everything from our democracy to what flavor ice cream you should eat when you're at the store, or get when you're at the store. So, how does it affect democracy? That's a big question. And the answer to that really is simple. Remember just a little while ago when I told you that the concept of utilitarianism was created by the ancient Greeks? Well, guess who created the concept of democracy? Greeks. And they basically took utilitarianism and put it into an effect that we see. So, democracy. What does democracy do? Each one person votes for the greater good of the whole amount of people. And when you vote for that, you and a whole bunch of other people are deciding the greatest good for the greatest amount of people. And therefore, it's the definition of utilitarianism. So, if you and other people are deciding the best thing for the greatest amount of people, then that's basically utilitarianism. And ice cream, what flavor should you pick? Utilitarianism affects this because of the fact that if you go into a store and you want to buy ice cream, which ice cream flavor are you going to get? Are you going to get the flavor that you really hate? Or are you going to get the flavor that you like? Chances are you're going to get the flavor that you like. And this was by the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy. And basically what they said was that if you got a flavor of ice cream that did not give you the most happiness, then you are not giving yourself the battle of your mind. You're not giving yourself the most pleasure for the greatest amount of yourself. Now, if you get the ice cream flavor that you want, your favorite ice cream, then you're going to give the greatest amount of pleasure for the greatest amount of yourself. And therefore, that's utilitarianism. And just to go over a whole bunch of what we spoke about today, we spoke about my debate at UF and how it connects to utilitarianism. We define utilitarianism as basically the best amount of pleasure for the greatest amount of people. We talked about who created it. So while Jeremy Bentham may have coined the phrase utilitarianism, the ancient Greeks actually made it. And lastly, we talked about how utilitarianism affects almost everything that we see in today's status quo, from modern democracy all the way down to what flavor ice cream you should pick. Thank you so much for your time.